the conversation. But before we start, I want to ask you a question here. Let's say it's going to be a speaking. So according, as you can see in the picture, we have this grandma and there is a glasses, there is a paper book she's reading. Now, of course, you can now gather what we're going to talk about. But before that, do you prefer, Ya Thalith, do you prefer e-books or paper books? It's referred to electronic. So do you prefer electronic books or paper books? What do you think?
Paper books.
Why?
Because you'll get more into the story by touching the book, not by touching the tab.
Yeah, that's a very good point of view. Okay, what about you, Rafif? You said paper book. Why? Can you turn on your mic? Alice, do you prefer paper books or do you prefer e-books? By the way, do you know Kindle? Kindle, this device.
No, never heard of it.
No.
It's a very old device. You can find it on Amazon. It's a device that is only for reading. It's not an iPad or a laptop or anything. No, it's a device that's only for reading. Even the light that they used in this device is appropriate for people who wants to read for a long time. So you can buy your and they have library there that you can buy your ebooks from them, and then you can read them. So it's only for reading. There is no distracting, no WhatsApp or any kind of social media apps. I've never bought it before, but I think it's very nice to have a device that is only for reading in order not to be distracted. Now let's go back. Ebooks or paper books? Maybe ebooks on your phone.
Paper books.
You prefer Rima paper books. Why?
Because I think for me, it's more easy when I have exam or I study or so I
Yes.
can.
Yeah, that's a very nice point of view. Paper books are perfect, I think, for everyone whenever you have an exam, because you want to make lines, you want to underline, you want to make sure that this information is important for you when you revise in another time. I think that ebooks are perfect when you, for example, let's say, when you have many books to read, okay, or maybe when you're going somewhere and you know that you will be waiting, so you don't want to bring your paper book. It would be heavy to carry it around, but if you know that you will be waiting long, ebooks are perfect for you, I think. So it's sometimes it's not about I prefer ebooks or I prefer paper books. It's about which one is easier to use, whether I'm going to be waiting or I'm going to be just laying down on my bed. So that's it. Okay, now this is what we're going to talk about in this conversation here on page 38. Now I need you please to listen and pay attention to the words in blue.
Page 39. 6. Pronunciation. Consonant. Page 39. 5. Listening. Page 38. 4. Conversation.
Grandma, you've been lugging that book around all weekend.
If I want to read it, what choice do I have?
You can ditch the book and get an electronic book reader.
A what?
An electronic book reader. They're these great little devices that let you read books electronically. So you read on screen instead of on paper.
But I like reading on paper.
Trust me, Grandma. In a few years, no one is going to be reading books printed on paper anymore. Paper books will have disappeared.
I don't like all this new technology. I'm happy with things the way they are.
You really should check out ebook readers. One of the advantages is that you can buy, download, and start reading a book in minutes. Another great thing about it is that you can carry hundreds of books with you without it being heavy.
Why would I want to carry hundreds of books around with me?
Grandma, I'm sure if you just gave it a try, you'd find that you actually prefer it. Why not go with the flow?
I think this is all just a lot of hoopla. I've been reading my books on paper for 68 years, and I'm not about to change that now.
Okay, so what do you get from this conversation? 2 points of view. The point of view of the grandma is what? Mm-hmm.
She likes to read the paper books.
Thank you, Ragad. She likes to read paper books. What about her grandson, Edward? He likes what?
He
Mm-hmm.
likes ebooks.
Thank you so much, Ragad, and I prefer others to participate. Ragad is not going to give you her participation marks. Okay, now here are some of the phrases that we read and we have their meanings. Number one, there is a word which means there is a word which is lugging. When her grandson said, "Grandma, you've been lugging that book around all weekend." What is the meaning of lugging? Hmm, that book around, lugging that book around, which means it's written
Carrying
already.
something heavy.
Thank you so much, Raf, to carry something which is heavy. And then also her grandson said, "You can ditch that book and get an electronic book reader." I use the word ditch when I want to say that something I want um, just to remove it or just to throw it away. So what is the meaning of ditch?
يتخلص منه.
Yes, thank you so much, Rima. Also, there is a phrase that I know that you're familiar with, which is you really should check out ebook readers. When I say when I say that, "Oh, hey, can you look at this thing? I need to check out. It's very interesting." So the meaning of a
Try
checkout
it.
is, say it again, please.
Try it.
Yes, you should try it. You should see it. So that's what I mean when I say checkout. And then also her grandson, after trying to persuading her, but she's not listening, of course. So he said, "Why not go with the flow?" What is the meaning of this phrase? Go with the flow. When there is any new thing,
Accepting.
yes, except things that are not anything, things that are new. When there is anything that is a trend now, a hair dye or anything. So when someone said, "Why not go with the flow? Why not go with everyone else?" And then the grandma said, "I think this is all just a lot of hoopla." I think this is a new word for you. What is the meaning of hoopla? Mm-hmm. Other people? What is the meaning of hoopla? Okay, it's already there, which means excitement created by a large amount of publicity. I use the word hoopla when she said, I think this is all just a lot of hoopla. It means that all of those people who are reading ebooks, are they just doing it because of the excitement of doing new things, which is having a device to read a book on? So that's when I use the word hoopla. Okay, now, I need you please to pay attention here. I need you to take care of these words, and please, you need to understand them, because whenever, inshallah, I'm going to have an exam, you're going to use them. Now, here we have something which is called persuading. What is the meaning of this word? Persuading.
إقناع.
Yes. So, because now we have who's now tried to persuading who in the conversation?
Edward.
Edward is trying to persuade what? Who? Sorry.
His grandma.
Thank you so much. So Edward is trying to persuade his grandmother. Now, he used some of those phrases, and I needed to pay attention to them. When he said, I'm sure if you just give it a try, you will find that. So this is one of the things that you can use if you try to persuade other people. If you try to convince them to have your opinion or to use the thing that you just recommended to them. Look at it this way. One of the advantages is one reason you should consider, trust me on this. What's great about this is, so these are one of the things that you can use to persuade, or sorry, one of the sentences that you can use to persuade others. Now, let me ask you something. If you want to persuade your mother or your father about anything that you want to get, or if you want to go out, what do you say? Or what do you do?
Do something they want me to do.
Very good. That's nice, Renee. Like what? Give me just an example of something that you have done in order to make them say yes.
Maybe do a favor.
Do a favor to them, like you mean cleaning the house, maybe? Or doing some
Maybe
tea to your father? Okay, very nice. Thank you, Renee. What else have you done, Thalith, to make your parents say yes? Or maybe what have you said before?
be polite and calm.
Yeah, be polite and calm. And the day that you want to go out with your friend, you're going to be nice and smiley. And you always ask them, what do you want me to do? In order for them to say yes. Okay, what else, Thalith? Something that you have done or said to your parents in order to persuade them to say yes to you. You've never tried to persuade your parents?
Show them that I'm good in school.
Oh, yes, show them that you're good in school. Maybe tell them a story that, do you know the teacher, what did the teacher said to me today? She said that I'm very good in this thing, or that I've done the homework, or that whatever. Just in order to tell them that I'm very good in school, please let me go, or please give me this thing. Very nice, Ranim. You seem very experienced with that. Okay, Thalith, what else? So your parents just say yes to you without you trying? That's not okay. Okay, I needed to see this video. It's about how to persuade anyone. It's nice to know ways that you can use in order to make someone say yes, whether it's your parent or anyone, to say yes to you. It's nice to know how to persuade them. So just see this.
A year ago, I was in a computer science class when the professor made a mistake. I was confident enough in the subject, so I raised my hand and I told him he was wrong. I've read the correct solution in the book he told us to use for the class. I thought that since it was written in the book, logically, he would admit and correct his mistake.
Just a minute, sorry.
A year ago, I was in a computer science class when the professor made a mistake. Well, they were wrong? Well, not so. A year ago, I was in a computer science class when the professor made a mistake. I was confident enough in the subject, so I raised my hand and I told him he was wrong. I've read the correct solution in the book he told us to use for the class. I thought that since it was written in the book, logically, he would admit and correct his mistake. Instead, he went on and said that my solution was totally wrong. I definitely didn't expect that, so I thought maybe showing him the paragraph in the actual book will change his mind. And after 5 minutes of heated discussion and arguing with facts, he finally said that the information in the book is wrong and that he was right. I tried to persuade someone with arguing and reasoning. I thought facts will definitely make the professor change his mind. How silly was I? Did I really thought that the professor is going to swallow his pride, admit that he was wrong, and change his mind in front of all the students just because I had the correct information? I don't think so. So if you want to win someone to your way of thinking, never argue with them, because as soon as you tell the person is wrong, you already lost. I had a friend who was extremely good at persuading people. One night we were out partying, we met a few girls in a club and generally had a great time. So the night came to an end and we thought that it would be great to continue the party at our place. So we let our magnetic friend to try and convince them to come with us. At the time, I had no idea why he was so successful at persuading people, but after I've read a few books on the topic, I can now clearly see how he did it. At first, he asked them if they loved to party. They were in a club, so the answer was clearly yes. Then he asked if they had a great time tonight. The answer was yes again. Them were likely to be yeses. Finally, he asked and said yes. See how he didn't start to logically reason with them as for why they should come with us. He got yes after yes, and slowly the girls arrived at the philosophers the world has ever known. He did something that only a handful of men in all history have been able to do. He sharply changed the whole course of human thought. And now, 24 centuries after his death, he is honored as one of the wisest persuaders who ever influenced this world. So how did he do it? Did he tell people they were wrong? Well, not Socrates. He was far too clever for that. His whole technique, now called the Socratic method, was based upon getting a yes-yes response. He asked questions with which his opponents would have to agree. He kept on winning one admission after another until he had an armful of yeses. He kept on asking questions until finally, almost without realizing it, his opponents found themselves embracing a conclusion they would have bitterly denied few minutes previously. The next time you're tempted to tell someone he or she is wrong, remember old Socrates and ask a gentle question. A question that will get the yes response. If you found this video helpful, leave a like and share it with a friend who you think will find it interesting. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Okay, I didn't notice that my mic was off. Okay, I was saying that if you want, this is something that I learned. I didn't try it before, but they say that if you want to convince someone to do something to you, something for you, sorry, if they are in front of you and then you want to ask them, you can always touch their arm. So maybe you will ask your friend something, or maybe you will ask your little sister something. Instead of just ordering them, hey, I need you to do this thing for me, you can just come to them and then touch their arm while you ask them, and by this way, they will say yes. Have you ever tried this? Or did you hear about it before?
No.
No. Yeah, I didn't try it before, but I always think that touching people, their arm, their hands, while you ask them to do something, this way they will say yes. I don't know how, but I think they will say yes. Okay, I think now we have only 2 minutes left, so just let me take the attendance. Okay, Bayadir?
Yes,
Bayad,
teacher.
Jude, Jude, are you here? So Jude is absent. Dana?
Yes.
غد موجودة. رفيف، ريماس، رهف، ريما، سارة. سارة.
Yes, teacher.
Sadine. Sadine is absent. Shafiqa is absent. Shahad is absent. Ghadi. Ghadi is absent. Farah.
Yeah.
Maria.
No.
Najia.
Yeah.
Reneem is there. Okay. Okay, so this is all for today. If you have any question, please ask me. And have a nice day. Bye bye.